How do you like my shirt? It was a birthday present from my BFF. Don't you just want to adopt this cat? Kitten, cute little kitten. Have you ever woken up from a fever dream thinking, I need to see a dystopian Mad Max movie featuring our favorite and lovable 90s character, Barney? Yeah, that's right, Barney. You didn't think that's where this whole thing was going, did you? You're like, yeah, bring in Mel Gibson. Said no one ever. Mad Barney, celluloid warrior. Ba-ba-ba-ba! Kicking in overdrive. Well, it's gonna be kind of tricky because of COVID and everything, so instead, I guess I'll just resort to bleach bypassing Lomochrome Purple. It will be super-dee-duper! Who's ever thought of bleach bypassing Lomochrome Purple? Not a lot of people probably. I might be the first person to think about that. And if I'm not, humor me. So, since I like experimenting, I thought I'd bring you along for the show to show you how to get her done. I don't know if I've ever said that before, but I don't know if I want to say it again. No, I won't. From the beginning of the year, I've been experimenting with bleach bypassing. In the beginning, I wasn't really getting consistent results, but it's starting to change. This most likely will be the first bleach bypassing video in a string of some bleach bypassing videos. I think it's super awesome, so I hope you do too. Let's learn together. But I thought I would start bleach bypassing with Lomochrome Purple, because who in their right mind is crazy enough to pull that shit off? Well, you might be asking yourself, what is bleach bypassing? It's a development process that you should really actually think about doing before you go into the development. There are things you need to know before you start doing the filming and stuff like that. How do you do it? Well, it's kind of in the name. In the C41 process, it's bypassing the bleach step. If you're not familiar, refresher course. In developing C41, you have developer, bleach, fixer, and stabilizer. To us layman people, we can't be trusted with a separate bleach and fixer. So most companies combined those two steps in something called Blix. I know, very inventive. I think they should call it Eacher. Has a better ring to it. So in bleach bypassing, you just bypass that bleach step going straight to your fixer from the developer. But you might be saying, Caleb, the bleach and the fixer are together. How do you separate them? Well, by getting a strainer, of course. Just pour the Blix in and just use the strainer. Just don't make spaghetti afterwards. That would be a mistake. You might be numb. And die. No. You get a fixer separately. Black and white fixers work well. So instead of using the Blix that comes with the C41 kit, you throw that in the garbage and you use the new stuff. Or don't throw it in the garbage. You probably wouldn't keep it for doing C41 stuff. Fun little fact, the first use of bleach bypassing was in a Japanese film in 1957 called Rickshaw Man. So suck it, Save It Private Ryan. Just kidding, I like Spielberg. I was actually near him once, like this far apart. I'm not even lying about that. I would never lie about that. It's a good story. Ask me sometime. By skipping the bleach, you end up having a higher silver retention on the film. But what does that mean? To boil it down, it just means that you're gonna have higher contrast and your image is a little desaturated. Pretty dope, right? Are you still with me? Have you made it this far? There's a lot of good information here. You may also be asking yourself though, yo, Caleb, too fast, bro. We don't even know what Lomochrome Purple looks like naturally. Okay, fine, I'll give you what you asked for, because I can hear you. I listen. I'm a good listener. Just ask any of my friends, if I had them. On Lomochrome's website, they say that blues become greens, greens become purples, yellows become pink, and reds stay red. So, we need to look at those sweet, sweet tones before we go all Tom Hanks on those mofos. Cue the montage!
Go, arms up, looking up at those trees.
street. Because it's so quiet. By now, you should know I like testing, so that's exactly what I did. Went out and did an exposure test. In doing research, I found out that you want to underexpose your negative by 2 stops, because bleach bypassing is hard on your highlights. But your boy doesn't listen to the internet, or I wouldn't have urinated on Jason's leg that one time when he got stung by a jellyfish. So I went around the neighborhood with my handy dandy notebook and captured a few different scenes. Just to be thorough, I shot box speed, +1, -1, -2, and -3. Lomography says that you can shoot Lomochrome Purple from 100 to 400 ISO. So when I was doing my tests, what I ended up doing was going straight down the middle at 200. I thought that if I shot at 200, it would give me the best median latitude that I could shoot from. Ultimately, I found out you want to underexpose your negative 1.5 to 2 stops. So, fine. Internet, you win this one. But I'm not done with you. So when I decided to shoot with bleach bypassing in mind, I rated the film at 800, which from 200 is 2 stops under. Now to the main event. Welcome to the Lomochrome, where to enter, one leaves. Because the other one's taking a nap. So armed with this new knowledge, Jason and I went out to Desert Center. Desert Center was the perfect place to shoot Lomochrome Purple and bypass it. It has a lot of unoccupied buildings and has a desolate type of feeling. So it could be cool for the photos. So we hopped in the old station wagon and made our way to the desert, or desert, depending if you can spell properly or not. So when we first got there, we went to this Mart Magoo's that was highly abandoned, just like I was when I was 4. I don't think I've gotten over it. Oh yeah, I want to drink it. My butt. Guess what? Dark slide. Jason in the background. After the Mart, we ended up going into town, where there was literally no one. Really, the only thing in the town that I could see that was actually functional was maybe the post office. And that's about it. We've been trying to shoot this thing empty for like 40 minutes now. What the hell is happening? Do these people just get drugs? Look at that. She's going over to the other car. What is she doing over by the other car? Oh no, you're gonna go in there to do drugs. the most part, Bleach Bypassing Lomochrome Purple has great dynamic range. I was able to retain cloud detail in the sky, something I didn't think I was able to do. When I was metering for the overall scene, but skewed a little closer to the highlights so I could protect those. The shadows are a little noisy, but that's also to be expected from something like Bleach Bypassing. Like I stated earlier, what happens is the image gets a little bit more contrast and a little desaturated. But in this case, the desaturation wasn't a big deal. You actually had a lot of saturation in your image. The greens still turned purple, the baby blues turned green, the shadows got a little green too. When you shoot Lomochrome normally, sometimes if the sun isn't in a good angle, your image could just look flat and disgusting, like my ass. So, you're probably here for the main conclusion. You're here to know, is it worth it? Does it look cool? Would I do it again? How much is real estate now? Honestly, I don't think Bleach Bypassing Lomochrome Purple does much. Yeah, it adds a little bit more contrast, but your colors are still there. So is there a benefit to doing this? Yeah, it's dope. Why not? Maybe if you want to experiment a little bit more. I think the biggest thing when shooting Lomochrome Purple is the subject. The shots that I really like on Lomochrome Purple are always the ones that the purple enhances the shot for. So for the desert center shots, I think those are some of my favorites. And I think the subject had to do a lot with that. Lomochrome Purple likes to just shove a bunch of purple onto the shot. So if you have a lot of greens in your image, it becomes overwhelmingly purple, thus kind of losing the cool factor to it. But for the desert center shots, there was hardly any greenery around. So when there was a tree or a bush, that purple just popped and really helped the composition of the image. So to be honest, I think it's more of the content that you shoot with Lomochrome Purple than maybe the actual development process. I did have fun experimenting, and would I do it again? Yeah, I like experimenting, and I'm not done. I'm gonna bleach bypass the hell out of everything because I can. That's the cool thing about developing your own stuff. I suggest you do the same thing. Get some rapid fixer, pour it in, stir it up, crank it out. It's more like I was cooking than developing film. Well, I hope you're still excited for Mad Barney, the celluloid warrior. I think it could have a real shot at winning the Oscar, or a Webby or something. So, join me next time where I'll actually be teaching you how to bleach bypass and how to be as cool as I am. I mean, my mom thinks I'm cool, so there's that. Okay, bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Move over, George Miller. There's a new guy in town creating dystopian wasteland films. With a kick.